You're listening to the Weekend Sport Podcast with Jason Pine from News Talk ZB. You be the TMO. Have your say on 0800 80 1080 Weekend Sport with Jason Pine and GJ Gardner-Holmes, New Zealand's most trusted home builder. News Talk ZB.
2:28, Auckland FC back in A-League football action this evening as they look to extend their perfect start to their maiden season. They take on Macarthur FC, 6 o'clock kickoff tonight as part of Unite Round. One of their best in the first three games has been New Zealand fullback Francis de Vries.
Here's Eli Just. De Vries! And Francis de Vries gets on the score sheet. Very first goal for New Zealand. Player who's toiled away in the New Zealand domestic scene for some seasons before getting a chance to play in the A-League at Auckland FC. Weeks later, he's got the white shirt on his back, and now he's got a goal.
Francis de Vries joins us from Sydney ahead of the game tonight. Thanks for your time, Francis. 3 games, 3 wins, 3 clean sheets. It could hardly have gone any better. Why do you think Auckland FC have started so well?
Mate, dream start. I think above everybody's expectations, and the reason why it's been like that, there's always many factors, but one of them has just been the amount of work we've put in pre-season. Like, it's been a very hard, long pre-season, and the coaches have come up with a clear plan of how to play and how we're going to implement that. So the lads have been working really hard, and the culture off the field's been very progressive so far. So I think kind of a lot of things coming together to provide that outcome that you see on the weekend.
Because of the bye and then the international break, Auckland FC haven't played for 3 weeks. Was there a sense that you would have liked to have sort of kept going just to continue that momentum?
100%. I mean, you've been in sport a long time and you see how it is. When a team is doing well, you just want to keep playing, and you have this mindset where everything is kind of aligned. And now it does feel a little bit like you're starting again. 3 weeks is a long time in the football world. So, you know, we know our processes. We'll get back out there and do our best, but would have definitely liked to play in the last couple of weeks.
It does seem like a while ago now, but how much did you enjoy the first New Zealand derby?
Yeah, no, it was great. Look, like, we know a lot of the boys on their team, and they know us well too, so it's always good to play against your mates. Of course, there was quite a bit of hype around it, as it would be with the first big derby in a long time in New Zealand, but very much enjoyed it. Obviously, positive result for us, but it's always nice to share the pitch with those boys, and all of us grew up at a time where that wasn't a thing in New Zealand. So to be able to be a part of the inaugural one and to kind of provide that to the next generation of New Zealand young footballers coming through, that was really, really cool.
Yeah, awesome. I know we're here to talk about Macarthur, but the first home derby isn't that far away either, a couple of weeks away, Saturday, December 7. How big an occasion you reckon that might be at Mount Smart?
Hopefully a sellout. Look, like, you can't ask for many more occasions like this in New Zealand. So hopefully Auckland turns out for it. I hear ticket sales are going well, so get in there because I don't think there's many left.
I think you might be right. All right, let's have a look at your performances. You've played every minute of all 3 games. How happy are you with the way you've been playing personally?
Yeah, satisfied. Like, as a footballer, you're kind of always quite self-critical, and you're always looking at things that you could or should be doing better. But when you speak with the people around you, the people close to you, it's a great perspective builder. And so getting a lot of nice messages, you know, from family, from friends, you know, kind of support and also of, you know, encouragement to keep this going. So, mate, I'm stoked with how it's gone so far. I'm also very conscious that we're only 3 games in, so this is the beginning. Hopefully there's plenty more to come.
Something which has caught the eye in the first 3 games for a lot of people is the combination you're forging down the left-hand side with Liam Gillian. How much are you enjoying that particular combination?
Heaps. You know, I played against him in the National League, and that wasn't too much fun. So I was pretty stoked when he came over to us. We're actually roommates as well a lot of the time on away trips, so we obviously get on well personally too, and I think that counts for a lot when you're out on the pitch. You know, you've got that level of trust with one another, and mate, he's on fire, eh? Like, I just pass him the ball and run, and he makes me look good, so happy days.
So Macarthur tonight, they're going all right. They beat Sydney FC away last time out. How do you assess the threat that they'll present to you tonight?
Yeah, very good team going forwards. I think they create a lot of chances, and they kind of bank on that as well with their style of play. I think it'll be a tough game. Obviously, our first one over in Oz, so you got to think about the travel and all of that, but I think the boys are up for it, and we're pretty keen to impose ourselves as well in Australia, like you talked about the great start that we've had. For us, it's, kind of forging ahead and trying to stamp our mark on a new thing that we haven't achieved yet, first away win or first away points, maybe get a clean sheet away. So these are the kind of things we're looking for. We obviously know they're dangerous, but we also know what we're really good at, and that's what we're going to bring.
Can I ask you about your skipper, Hiroki Sakai? It seems from the outside looking in as though he's already a pretty influential guy in your team environment. What is he like inside Auckland FC?
Mate, when you've been to 3 World Cups and you're still the most humble guy in the changing room, I think it affects a lot of people just with the demeanour that he has. So he's a massive positive role model for many of us. Definitely for me. I'm sure a lot of the other boys feel the same. As a football player, obviously his quality, I don't need to hype that up because you get to watch it every weekend. But as a person, very humble, very willing to speak and share his knowledge and also to have a laugh. So, yeah, he's definitely a big driving force in the dressing room for making everyone feel comfortable, but then also showing us, what you could be capable of if you have the level of dedication and professionalism that he has.
Well, speaking of international football, we saw you play your first game for New Zealand in over 2 years on Monday against Samoa. Scored a goal as well, your first one for the All Whites. How much did you enjoy being back in the national setup?
Heaps, mate. I'm glad you didn't hold your breath for my first goal because it was a long time coming. Very stoked, like when I got injured and chose to come back to New Zealand instead of remaining in Europe, I was very conscious that I was giving up some things, and the All Whites was one of them. And Baze was always very honest with me, saying that I needed to be back in a professional environment before I'd be considered again. So to be able to get the chance again, and first game on home soil as well, it meant the world to me. Had mum and dad watching, had my partner Lisa watching, and the goal was kind of the cherry on top. I was just stoked to be there and be able to, put on the shirt and you feel 10 feet tall when you got it there.
It's a good finish, man. I mean, it's no foregone conclusion you'll get that in the net. That's a good finish.
Yeah, thanks. I was really happy with it, obviously working on those kind of finishes, when you hit one of them in training, you go ballistic, you're like, that was an incredible goal. So the game, obviously, 5-0 up, you couldn't go knee sliding into the corner, but that's kind of how I felt like.
And with the World Cup on the horizon, All Whites now just 2 games away from securing qualification. How keen are you to stay involved in the All Whites over the next couple of years and maybe go to the World Cup?
Very much so, it's a really real motivator every day now, especially when you've just been in that environment, had a taste of it. I'm under no illusions that I need to continue to play really well for Auckland to remain in contention because there's very many other good players, especially in my position too. So, mate, I'll just keep doing the same thing. It is a boost, it is a bit of an extrinsic, this is what you could get if you keep going well. Although I think the more important thing is sticking with your internal standards and consistently trying to give your best, your best effort, your best character, your best quality, and then we'll see what happens after that.
And you mentioned the conversation or conversations with Darren Bazley before. You had a lot of time overseas, playing Switzerland, US, Sweden. When you returned back to New Zealand, did you feel as though your days as a full-time pro might be done?
Yeah, for sure, mate. I'm not going to lie and say, I had this all planned out in my head because we didn't even know Auckland FC was going to be a thing. Even when I was back here playing, I knew there were no guarantees of signing for Auckland when they became a club. So when I came back to New Zealand, it was a very conscious choice of me and my partner Lisa. We were moving back to essentially start a new life together after many years overseas. So to have the opportunity, almost like a third life of professional football for me, is something you don't take for granted. So that's why, I was talking about the motivation coming from inside again before. That's what it feels like every morning when you get up. You've got this wonderful opportunity and not to take that for granted. So that's the kind of mindset that I try and approach each day with.
Well, it's obviously working, Franny. You've started the season brilliantly, back in the All Whites, a goal. It's all going well for you at the moment, mate. Long may it continue. All the best against Macarthur tonight. Thanks for taking the time for a chat.
Really appreciate it. Have a good day.
You have a good day too, Francis. Francis de Vries there from Auckland FC. They take on Macarthur, 6 o'clock tonight, New Zealand time. 3:30 this afternoon, it's the Wellington Phoenix back in action. They take on Melbourne Victory, the top side in the competition, from 3:30. Midfielder Paulo Retre missed the first 3 games of the season as he recovered from a niggly injury, but he debuted in the last game, a 3-0 win over the Central Coast Mariners. I spoke to Paulo Retre during the week and asked how he came through his first game in a Phoenix shirt.
Yeah, look, I guess before the game it was sort of a plan to do 45 or 60, and I ended up getting the 60 minutes in, so I was happy to come out there and get back in one piece. Yeah.
Must have been a nice occasion too, a 3-0 win away at the Mariners off the back of the loss in the derby. How much of a confidence boost was it for the team?
Yeah, definitely. I think, obviously, like you said, we were disappointed from the result in the Auckland game. And I think it was just like that little bit extra desire, I guess, to, show that obviously we care to the fans. So, no, it was good. Top performance from the guys. I think all round quite a good display. And, hopefully that can sort of help us build a platform to kick on for the rest of the season.
An international break and then across now for you night round against Victory on Sunday. What's the situation with your minutes? Will you be able to play another hour or maybe even longer?
Yeah, I think so. Look, at the moment I'm just trying to do the best I can with whatever minutes. I think that's up to Chief here and the fitness staff. But yeah, the plan's sort of around something similar, or maybe try and get a little bit more out of me. But we'll see how it goes.
How did you find it out there? Did you enjoy playing for Wellington Phoenix?
Yeah, obviously for me, I was really proud, and it was obviously to get a result like that in my first game. Probably didn't really think that would go like that. I'm really happy, and really happy to be here, and hopefully I can contribute on the pitch the best I can. Yeah.
Is the style that Wellington play and your role inside that style something you feel you can, contribute pretty significantly in?
Yeah, I think so. I think the way the team plays sort of suits my style of gameplay. So, I'm hoping to contribute a lot.
In Melbourne Victory on Sunday, you've played them a lot in derbies and big blues. I had a quick check actually. You've played them 23 times and only lost 7. So they're your bunnies, man. Why do you go so well against Victory?
Don't know. I used to play there as a junior, so I don't know, maybe I've got some inside knowledge that that I don't know about. But I think for me growing up, obviously being a Melbourne boy, I always look forward to that fixture. Obviously they're a big club, one of the biggest clubs in the A-League, so yeah, they're always a top team, and they obviously got a good team now, good coach, well drilled there at the top of the table, I think, or near there. It'll be a good game. I'm really excited for it, and I think it'll be a good game for us to show our quality as well, like the Mariners. Hopefully it goes that way as well. That's
Paulo Retre, new to the Phoenix this season, but off to a winning start. He will start again this afternoon against Melbourne Victory. That game's about 50 minutes away in Sydney for a Unite round. All of the games are in Sydney this weekend for the men and the women.
For more from Weekend Sport with Jason Pine, listen live to News Talk ZB weekends from midday, or follow the podcast on iHeartRadio.